What is up, guys, gals, and you awesome, awesomies and gamers of different shapes and sizes? It's me, Josh, again, Proxy, bringing you some Titanfall 2 today on the PlayStation 4 Pro, and I missed you! It's been so difficult recording videos at the moment, because basically what I'm having to do is record the footage and then find somewhere to do the commentary, and it's so difficult because everywhere in this place in New Zealand is so freaking echoey! Like, I tried yesterday going into the garage because my family are around all the time, so basically I'm having to do all this audio when they're at work or at school, then when they come back home I can't do any commentary because the other room that I can go into, which is like in a garage, is so freaking echoey. I'll probably try and do like a video in there just to kind of show you that comparison. Maybe you can actually let me know if you're not actually too bothered about the audio and what it sounds like, but to me, I tried recording it and it sounded so echoey, and it just doesn't feel very up to the quality, you know? Look at all these guys just like jump in. This is something that ends up happening like a lot when you're playing Titanfall 2 right at the start. There was actually a map where it's kind of like all blossom trees and stuff, and when you drop down, it seems like the enemy team can actually get to your side a lot faster on the opposite side, where they're kind of like in the main base area. And you'll end up kind of like going into this area and they'll just like jump down and they're completely behind you, which is so annoying. So as you saw there's like 3 people on the side just completely ready to kick some ass, and they shot me, obviously, completely unprepared. And it doesn't help as well that I'm using a G2 rifle, because obviously the G2 is not built for close range attack. But oh, look at this guy as well throwing this gravity grenade. This is the really cool thing, is that Titanfall 2 always makes you feel badass. It always has this way of allowing even people that you're trying to kill to actually look badass as well. It's kind of like cinematic cool moments, don't you think? So that guy was able to like jump upwards and then throw that gravity grenade, kind of like stick everybody together, then he turned around mid-jump to try and shoot everybody, but I was actually able to save them and deny him that kill. And so you do actually have these really cool badass moments where it feels like you're fighting other badasses, which you are, because everyone who's playing Titanfall 2 can do the exact same badass stuff, and it's so awesome! I know, I just love that. I think it's so cool. And so I'd love to know your opinion in the comment section below. What do you think to that whole thing where you can actually, you know, you could just do anything in this game and feel like a complete badass? You may notice as well that I'm actually using the Sonar knife today. This is actually a very odd class for me because I feel like it's a lot slower than the other ones. I love the grapple hook, I love the stim robot where basically you activate like a super speed but it also heals you mid speed as well, which is quite cool. But I'm having to try and use the Sonar knife one just to kind of like mix gameplay up a little bit, but it's one of those kind of like classes which I don't really stick to a lot because you are kind of like just running. You can't really like take advantage of kind of like speed benefits. You could obviously wall run and things like that, but the one thing that is able to do this Sonar knife class is throw this Sonar knife, and basically it kind of like reveals enemies behind walls and stuff in kind of like a weird little orange highlight and things. And it's okay, but it's one of those things where once you've used that knife, you kind of have to wait to use it again, while say like if you're using the grapple hook or the stem, like you can continuously use them like quite quickly, or at least the grapple hook you can do that. You may notice as well that we're actually using Legion today, and Legion is actually kind of an iffy one to use at the moment because they have actually patched it. It, her, he, I'm not too sure on the gender of Legion. I mean, if I was looking at it, I'd probably say it's she? I'm not too sure. But they actually ended up patching Legion, which is very depressing because, as you know, I love Legion to death. And the thing you can see here, look, is they've actually made it so the turning of Legion is very slow. And it's kind of like in a good sense, actually, I guess you could say, because the one thing that was really good about Legion originally was that it could actually be this constant mobile platform of ponage, where even if it was in like a corridor or if it was in like open ground, it could actually like constantly like cover the field with bullets like a lawnmower. But now they've made it where you actually have to kind of like stick and dedicate to the range mode that you use, and if you use it at the wrong time, you get punished. So as we already know, Legion has the ability to go long range, as you can see here, which actually allows it to do more damage at long range, or if you press triangle, you can actually get close range crosshair, and it means it'll do more damage close range, but also be able to turn a lot faster. Now, originally, Legion would actually be able to turn a lot faster in long range mode as well, and also be able to deactivate the fire mode. This is one of the things, because when you actually aim down the sight of your Gatling gun, you actually kind of like build up your turret, kind of like barrels, and then you actually fire all those bullets out at people. But you were able to kind of like stop that quite quickly. But now they've made it now so that once you let go of that trigger, you have to wait for it to kind of like run down and cool down, and then you can bring your arm back up. So it's kind of interesting really in a sense that you are kind of like an artillery support now, which is kind of cool. It's not kind of like an MG weapon, like say with a pilot, where you can just run around and fire it. You actually have to kind of like prep it. You have to actually kind of like hold your ground and then pwn. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult. It's very situational now, where you have to make sure that if you are playing as Legion, you're playing it in an area that it can excel at, which is obviously corridors. So this is actually a really good map for corridors. So you will actually see some really good moments where I'm actually able to kind of like hold my ground and just completely dish out some awesomeness. There's actually a pilot here trying to escape, which is really cute. And it's one of the things that I really love about Titanfall is that when you can just like chase down pilots and pilots can kind of chase down you in a little bit of a sense, where like they'll be like above you and they can then actually like do like some serious damage to you, and you're kind of like having to run away from them. A giant robotic Titan has to run away from a pilot who has got like a massive kind of like, what would you say, ground advantage to you and can just keep continuously shoot you. You can't do anything about it. I think it's really cool. That guy there could not get away from me. That girl there, that thing, it could have been a robot, I'm not too sure, just wearing a ghillie suit. It's so weird. But what we're going to see here is actually some corridor shooting with Legion. This is one of the main moments of actually excelling with it. Also using that smart core there, which allows me to actually foam in my bullets onto anything that I unlock, which is really cool. So as you saw there, I was able to take down 4 pilots with my smart core, which is very, very awesome. It's got one of those really cool abilities where by excelling at corridor shooting, it means that everything locked in there will actually take damage, and it's just really powerful. But again, you have to make sure that you pick your fights. Do not end up going into open combat, because if you are going to end up fighting against, say, a Ronin, which we're actually going to fight against here, it can actually get behind you, and you have to be very, very careful. Like this one here is rushing towards me, trying to use its nuke. We're going to try and get out of there as fast as possible. Activate my shield there as well, which will block a little bit of the nuke damage as well. So do not forget, if you do actually have your portable shield for your turret on you, then activate that when someone is doing a nuke, and you will actually withstand a little bit of that damage, but not too much. And it's one of those things where it's kind of cool that now you have to be quite tactical with the Titans, don't you think? Because originally they were quite easy to use, but it's kind of appreciative to actually use them as like a special weapon, but also actually have their own little playstyle to them. So as you can see here, I can actually stand at the doorway of the corridor, but it means that anybody that tries to come through it or past it will actually taste my wrath, which I think is really, really good. But if I go into open ground and I kind of just like freely go Rambo with it, it actually kind of works against me in a sense, don't you think? I'm actually going to try and activate my smart core again here, I might believe, or maybe not. Oh, it seems I'm actually going to keep hold of it, which is kind of cool. So generally what I'll do is I'll just try and like use it as fast as possible, because obviously the longer I can keep my Titan, the longer I can do even more damage and such. But remember as well that you want to try and like save it for a situation as well. So as you can see on the bottom left, I do actually have my smart core, which I just activated. But generally you don't want to try and waste it. You don't really want to waste it. And so in here there was actually a few pilots, so what I was able to do was actually take down 2 there, which is really, really awesome. But then there's also that thing where obviously the smart core is going to get wasted now, and so generally if you are going to be using that smart core for Legion, I'd probably say use it on grunts, because it's really good for obviously taking down all those grunts and actually getting loads of points for your team to win, or for doing it on loads of pilots. So this is one of the main things, is that if you can actually get a herd of pilots together and then use your smart core, you will kill all of them in succession. This is the really good thing about smart core, is that it's actually really good against pilots. Not brilliant against Titans, because obviously you can just like use the long range ability of your Gatling gun to just shoot the Titans casually anyway. But when it comes to actually kind of like clearing up pilots, so useful, because it means you can actually, if you think about it, because a pilot gives you 5 points for every kill, and obviously those kind of like add up over time. And so if you say killed 4 pilots, you know, that's 5, 10, 15, 20, that's 20 points. 20 freaking points for free just using a smart core. And that's actually a massive boost, because that actually means that those 4 pilots, or at least one of them, has to actually try and get 4 kills in the next like few minutes or something to contribute. So there's so much kind of like potential to using that smart core when playing as Legion, and I hope that's actually a really good tip. A really good tip is to try and stay corridor, but also try and focus on either taking down grunts or taking down the pilots themselves, you know, and try not to focus on using the smart core on Titans, unless there's like a pilot on a Titan, like, and they're kind of like working together, you know, because obviously you can actually rodeo your friendly Titans and stuff, which is quite cool. I actually thought, there's like a moment that I remember playing this and thinking, that Titan's gonna crush me. It's actually on my team, so I didn't actually freak out or anything in the end. But we have actually just gained victory here, and so this was actually a really awesome match, showing you some gameplay with the G2 rifle, showing you some gameplay with Legion, and also talking about a few things. I do actually want to talk about a few more topics in the future, things like the DLC, which comes out in 2 days, which is going to be really exciting. What kind of DLC would you like to see in Titanfall 2? Because one thing I wanted to mention is that remember that all DLC that comes out for Titanfall 2 when it comes to game modes, gameplay changing, or say maps, or even new weapons, will all be free. Anything that actually changes the game and actually can allow you to actually get a bit more powerful over your opponents will actually be free for everybody. There's going to be no season pass to this game, only aesthetic and cosmetic things. So things like different skin models, kind of like they're going to be bringing out some Prime Titan skins, kind of like in Warframe, where you could have like Prime Warframes, where it'll be a little bit more pimpy weapons, so we're going to be having some of those in the game, but they won't have any new abilities. But say, with the brand new abilities actually coming out for each Titan, they're actually going to be one brand new, I think it's kind of like a playstyle, kind of like core ability. They will actually be all free, so any single time that they bring out something that's brand new to the gameplay, it'll be free for you to use, which I think is really, really cool. But comment section below, let me know what you think of the game so far of Titanfall 2 on the PlayStation 4 Pro. Let me know what kind of DLC you would like to see, though, as well. Don't forget as well to drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and why not subscribe for more Titanfall 2 content in the future as well. But it has been me, Josh, Proxy, bringing you some Titanfall 2, and I'll see you all next time, hopefully. I want to try and get some more videos out. Come on, let's do this. Let's have some more fun. But, ciao for now.